then he got that 2-run lead, and I think there was this collective exhale, and everybody relaxed, and then Kansas State's back to it.
Yeah, I mean, Ty Wilmsmeyer actually played a pretty good game. He put some pressure on Kansas State there in that inning, reached base a couple times, and made stuff happen with his legs and forced them to make an error or two. And I thought that kind of would rattle Kansas State. And I thought Hagen Smith would settle in and give us a couple more solid innings. It just didn't happen that way. Walks will come back to bite you. And Kansas State made Hagen Smith actually pay for walking batters. Not many teams have been able to do that this year. And the Arkansas bats came alive, but it just the theme of this game is it just was a little too late. I mean, leaving runners in scoring position came back to bite them. It just did. I mean that's as simple as we could put it. I mean it's happened all season, and it's not a good time for it to continue for sure.
No, it's definitely not the time he wants. But I think if you said, hey, we're going to get 13 dozen hits, 6 runs, Hagen Smith is on the mound, you're going to feel pretty good about that. But, Rusty and I were talking all week long, and I ran the numbers on this. And some people, kind of well and skewed a little bit, but Hagen Smith's postseason ERA was 6.75. His postseason whip was about 1.85. And you can say it was skewed by the TCU game last year, and that's true. But now, after today, his postseason ERA is over 9. This is a guy that once he gets to 60 pitches, and I started charting this during the ball game, the minute he threw his 61st pitch, 2 walks, 2 hits, a home run. I don't know what that magic number is, and the same thing happened with Jackson Wentworth. He got to 60 pitches, and all of a sudden he started getting hit. So I don't know if it was second time through the lineup. I don't know if it was a certain number of pitches, but whatever that was, it happened right around 60 for both guys. And that's when the offenses finally kicked in, and we got the game we thought we were going to get, which is going to be this this back and forth kind of game. And it was certainly noticeable. Smith finished up 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 6 earned, 7 Ks, but he walked 4.
Yeah.
And that was, you combine all that together, you've got traffic on the bases, and the way that Kansas State plays small ball, that created some issues. Arkansas continues to struggle with timely hitting, getting, like you mentioned, guys in scoring position. There was a point towards the end of the regular season where they were hitting 188 with runners in scoring position. You're not going to win a lot of games really against really good teams when you hit 188. The thing I find so ironic about all of this is that when the draw came out, and everybody was talking about SEMO, obviously, because that was going to be Arkansas's first opponent. And who else were we talking about? Louisiana Tech.
Yep.
Nobody said a word about Kansas State, and they're a pretty good ball club. I think Arkansas's got more talent.
Yes.
And I think Arkansas just kind of ran out of time tonight. But that's what postseason baseball is, and now you're playing elimination games the rest of this weekend for Arkansas. And we're going to find out how they react. Phil mentioned it's probably going to be Gage Wood tomorrow. We'll find out here in a couple of hours. But they're going to have to be sharp in every facet from this point through. If they plan on moving forward, they're going to have to beat SEMO tomorrow. They're going to have to beat Kansas State tomorrow night, and then they're going to have to beat them again on Monday night.
Yeah, the positive you can take from this, if you're Arkansas, you obviously lost the game. That's behind you now at this point. You outplayed Kansas State pretty much the entire game besides one inning. And, yes, it happened against your ace, which that's a little concerning, but I don't think Kansas State throughout an entire game, they haven't shown so far that they can out-hit Arkansas.
One of my biggest questions was what happens if Hagen Smith loses? How does the team react? And I'll be honest with you, I'm very impressed with the way they react. They fought back.
Yeah, they didn't lay down.
I mean, they staggered a little bit and certainly took a gut punch, but they did fight back. They got themselves back into the game. They put themselves in a position to win the ball game. Now, I know there's some controversy over the catcher's interference there at the end of the ball game. We're going to have to get a better explanation on that. It would be easy to see it either way. I could see what the umpires were saying. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can see what they were saying. In a situation like that, I think you got to let it go. But that's an odd time to call a catcher's interference. It is up to discretion of the umpire, but a very, very odd time for that to pop up.
Yeah, I mean, you got a guy on second base there. Stovall, didn't get the hit, but had he gotten the hit, that guy scores. And we can say what if at this point. He didn't get a hit. He ended up striking out, so it really doesn't matter. But, you just didn't play well enough. most of the time, if you play like that with Hagen Smith on the mound, scoring 6 runs, you'll win the game. And it just wasn't. It just didn't happen because of the one big inning. And you can't, giving up 6 runs in an inning, that's usually hard to overcome.
That's usually going to be doomsday any way you look at it. You can call or text the show, 877-377-6963. Zach and Paragould has texted in. Let's get into it now. Who are you going to pitch in the next 2 games? Well, I think the first thing you have to do is win the game against SEMO, and Gage Wood's going to get the ball for that one, I think. After that, man, Fouch didn't pitch in this ball game. I thought Bybee looked great. I don't know how much he has left. I thought he pitched really, really well. I think Mason Molina is certainly available to you. He did not pitch all that much on Friday. I think you've got some options, but you've got to get through the SEMO game first.
Yes.
And Gage Wood has to give you a quality start in that ball game, just to take some of the, I think Phil mentioned that Parker Coyle hasn't pitched either, but you got to take some of the pressure off your bullpen. The 2 starters, Hagen was going great for 4 innings, and then it just, then the wheels came off. You didn't get much out of Molina against SEMO, and the offense. You put up 23 runs in 2 games. I don't think you can complain about that, but now your back's to the wall, man, and there's nowhere else for them to go.
Hudson White, man, I tell you what, he just missed a game-tying home run by like a foot. Had that gone over the fence, we're tied up, and then Holt's homer would have put us ahead. So a lot of what ifs, a lot of the story of tonight. It's a game of inches, and we didn't get the right end of the stick on that tonight. And you hope the luck is a little better tomorrow. You hope somebody comes out and start us off right with a really good pitching performance. I think you're on to something there, Zach. You don't want to have to go to the bullpen. You don't want 2 innings and then have to bring someone in and that type of thing. You want a solid game, get that game out of the way, and you can kind of just focus on Kansas State and how you're going to attack them. It's going to be interesting to see what Dave Van Horn does. This is not the position I don't think he wanted to be in by any means, having to go to the bullpen. You want to be up. You want to be 2-0 and in that winner's bracket game, but it's not how it happened. We've seen Arkansas do it before. Kansas State is not a juggernaut. I know they won tonight. They're a team. They're a really good team. It's going to be tough to beat them twice. I think you can at least get 1 game, and then you never know what happens in that final game.
Yeah, and baseball's weird. I mean, it is. Who would have had Hagen Smith give it up 6 earned runs to honestly a Kansas State offense that, frankly, as you said, juggernaut. Culpepper's really their only threat. He obviously hits the home run that kind of gets everything started, but they play a lot of small ball. They put traffic on the bases. They cause havoc. They do a lot of things that are a little bit unorthodox, things that you don't see in the SEC all that much. And you know what? Arkansas started defending it a little bit too late.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. They small balled Arkansas to death to kind of get their offense going, and then they got a big home run. I mean, that's really their MO, like you were saying. That's what the announcers were saying. That's their MO. They've been doing that all season, and they were able to get some momentum in that inning. And you take that inning off the board, man, it's a decent win for Arkansas, but that's not where we're at right now. I don't feel devastated after this loss just because of the way they fought back. They showed that they're not going to lay down, and that's really important because nobody expects Hagen Smith to give up six runs in an inning, and that's just something that doesn't happen. So the way they responded is a positive. You've got to win 3 games in a row, but you got to start somewhere. It's going to be a tough road to climb for sure, but there's still some baseball left to play, and I don't think this team is just going to lay down. I think we're going to see some interesting baseball games, and that's one thing about this team that we've seen most of the season is they fight back. They may get into a hole, but they usually fight back pretty well. They usually hit better when they're trailing for some reason, and that kind of showed tonight.
I was a little, and this is the little league coach in me screaming and yelling. I mean, they were in an extreme shift against all left-handed hitters that Arkansas put up. And honestly, their second baseman commits 2 errors in the ball game, throws 1 away, nearly winds up tying up the ball game. But the idea that you can't bunt to beat that and just start a carousel on the bases. Somebody's got to explain to me one of these days why that's not a good idea. I'm not saying that I have an answer. I'm just that's a question that I have because the shift is so extreme. If you've got anybody that can bunt, a left-hander that can bunt, you can just put it down the third base line. You've got yourself an easy single. But Arkansas kept hitting into the shift, and a couple times they got through. It just, it's a frustrating night because you felt like you had opportunities to really blow it open and just couldn't get that one knock that's going to put you over the top. Now we got a text out of the 479. You can call or text us 877-377-6963. Says Fimo has nothing to lose. Well. No, but here's the thing. Here's the situation that SEMO finds themselves in. Their pitching staff, wasn't deep when you met them on a week's rest, and now you're going to go face them after they've played on back-to-back days. I don't know what SEMO has, what they can possibly throw at you. You put up 17 runs against the best they had.
Yeah.
Tomorrow should be batting practice. The thing is, you got to go pitch it because they can hit it as well. If you pitch it halfway decent, you play good defense, you should be able to outscore them and get to the second game where you get another shot at Kansas State.
Yeah, you definitely have got to show your bats have to show up against SEMO, and I don't think that'll be an issue. I mean, Arkansas hitters should be able to have their way with their pitching staff. You can't get up 8 and then let them score 8. I don't think we'll see that again. But yeah, I mean. I think I like to kind of compare this to last year's regional. There's a huge difference here, and when TCU beat us, it felt like they were just way better than us, or like they just blew us out of the water. It's like, okay, I don't think we're going to be able to win this regional. This regional is still up for grabs. And you lost a 1-run game tonight. You had some calls go against you. You had a couple missed opportunities. It's not the situation you wanted to be in, but this is where we are, and Arkansas is going to have to, if Arkansas has any hopes of making Omaha, they should be able to win tomorrow, 2 games tomorrow, and then come back and beat Kansas State.
Yeah, it was a frustrating night for certain for the Arkansas Razorbacks out at Baum Walker. Again, the final score tonight, 7-6. Kansas State beats Arkansas. Arkansas are going to move to the 1:00 game tomorrow. They'll play SEMO, a team that they beat yesterday 17-9. And I say yesterday, and as we get close to the midnight hour, it would have been on Friday. Christian and I are going to be here for about another 30 minutes or so. We're going to talk about all of this. And Christian, I'm going to ask you point blank. Level of nervous. 1, very confident. 10 being, I'm really struggling here. How do you feel about the SEMO game going into tomorrow? I don't think they're going to have any issues. I think it might be a little bit, drag. They might drag a little bit for an inning or two, just because you're up late, have to be up early, that kind of thing. But they should be able to power their way through SEMO tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't see Arkansas coming out and just absolutely blowing them out of the water, but I could see a 12-5 type game, something like that, and give yourself some momentum to get you through the next game against Kansas State. You want to be able to build off something going into that game, and I'm not really, I know it's weird to say, but I'm not like super nervous about Arkansas at least being able to force that winner take all game. I'm not like terrified of that scenario, that not happening, but Hagen Smith obviously is not an option anymore, you would think, and you're going to have
not after 90 pitches.
No.
I mean, he's pretty much done for the weekend. I mean, you have in essence, anybody who pitched on Friday, nobody pitched over 35 pitches on Friday. I think you've got everybody that you would need for that. If you want to put Molina out there, if you're thinking Molina can pitch the second game on Sunday afternoon. I think they've got options. What those options are and how great you feel about them, that's kind of up. That's in the eye of the beholder. But I think Gage Wood is step one. If he gives you a good start, I think you're in good shape. But he's got to give you 5. He's got to give you 6, and he's got to keep you in the ball game. I think eventually their bats will take over because SEMO certainly isn't as deep as Arkansas is pitching-wise. You just have to hold SEMO under 6, and I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah, you'd like to see Gage Wood come out and give you at least 6 or 7. I think that's asking a lot of him, but that's what you would love to see in an ideal situation. And then a guy like Will McIntyre, let's see him go 5 or 6 good innings, maybe against Kansas State, if you get to that game tomorrow, and then if you win that game, it's just a bullpen game at that point. Like you said, I don't think Kansas State. I mean, that pitcher was very efficient tonight, but he didn't have like incredible stuff. It was just we weren't getting those hits that we needed to in those clutch moments, and Kansas State did that, and Arkansas didn't really until the latter part of the game, and they weren't able to overcome that. You don't want to get into a situation where you're having to come back down, 6-2 against anybody, really. But
no, you don't want to get in. You don't want to get down again because you know how it goes. Everybody gets that, oh no, here we go again feeling, and that's absolutely something that you don't want to get into tomorrow simply because you need some good feeling. I mean, they've struggled over the last 15 games. It just hasn't quite gone their way. And you don't want to get into that, oh no, here we go again phase. This is Hog Reaction, reacting to Arkansas' 7-6 loss to Kansas in the Fayetteville region. I want to thank all of our sponsors, Mock Legal Solutions. Find yourself in a fender bender, divorce, or custody dispute, call Jackie at Mock Legal Solutions. It's 479-769-1505, or you can check them out online at mocklegalsolutions.com. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. And our friends over at Arvest Bank since 1961. Arvest Bank has been committed to its local communities. Arvest is ready to help. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Camping World, they have America's favorite brands to get you into your perfect RV at Camping World in Poto and Van Buren, and online at campingworld.com. We're talking the road to Omaha. Christian and I'll be here for another 30 minutes or so. You are listening to Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Hog Reaction. Our coverage is presented by Mock Legal Solutions, Arvest Bank, and by Camping World.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news about our first ever trade-in acquisition event. We need your trade, so now through Memorial Day, get your state sales tax paid when you trade for any one of our road-ready certified vehicles. That's right, state sales tax paid when you trade. Another reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Hog Reaction.
A high drive deep to left field by Baheba Aloy. Way back and way out of here. He cleared the hog pen seats in left field, and the Hogs are back in front.
Our coverage is presented by Mock Legal Solutions, Arvest Bank, and by Camping World.
7-6, the final score tonight. Arkansas loses to Kansas State. They go into the 1 o'clock game tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 12:30 with the Dugout Show. They will play Southeastern Missouri State, a team that they played on Friday. Beat them 17-9. If you haven't been paying attention to the whole regional, Louisiana Tech. Boy, that was a team that, Christian, everybody was talking about Louisiana Tech and the Arkansas kids and how they hit the baseball. They go 2 and out and weren't real impressive doing it.
No, they kind of laid an egg. Their coach, I think, after they got eliminated, said they kind of just ran out of gas, and he was pretty emotional about it. But Arkansas, nobody's feeling sorry for Arkansas right now. You just got to go out and take it. And I think they'll beat SEMO. I think they'll be focused tomorrow. I think this team will be hungry tomorrow. And there's nothing that I've seen that shows me that it's going to be like an impossible hill to climb. Like Arkansas, winning 3 games is tough, especially in 2 days, but it's nothing this team can't do. You go through a SEC season and you're the West champs for a reason, and you're obviously pretty good. So you've just got to go out and show it. Tonight you just got to flush it. I mean, that's really all you can do. Kansas State's obviously in a good position right now, but I think Arkansas is going to make them earn it. I don't think Kansas State's just going to cruise and win this regional. I think Arkansas is definitely going to fight. Arkansas doesn't lose regionals very often, and there's a reason for that. They don't lose at home in regionals. I think Arkansas is gonna give them their best effort tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be. Certainly Arkansas will come out motivated. You've obviously, but there's a point at which you have to say, okay, you know what, we let this one get away, and I think that's that may be the mindset going into this, is that they outplayed Kansas State. You've mentioned it a couple of times. They outplayed Kansas State for most of the ball game. They just had that one inning that got away, and I had wondered all year long, what happens when Hagen Smith gets rocked? What happens? I mean, because it's going to happen. This is baseball. It happens to the good. It happens to the great ones. When you get bounced, how do you react? And I thought they've done this a lot yesterday, 2 days ago, I guess Friday, when they blew the 8-0 lead. Then they come back and they put another 9 runs on the board. You're like, okay, all right, this is going to be okay. But tonight was one of those nights where you're like, wow, this is impressive, the way that they fought their way back into it. No, they didn't get the victory. I know everybody's disappointed. You're leaving Baum Walker tonight. They had 11,000 people out there. They were excited to be there, but you got to look at this in a big picture. Baseball is one of those funny games. It's not like football where you do it once a week. They've got to get ready. They got to flush this one, like you said, get ready for tomorrow. And I'm telling you, that all comes down to Gage Wood. If he's good, they'll be fine.
I agree. And another thing that encourages me is after Hagen Smith gave up those 6 runs, we only gave up 1 run after that. And that shows me that, okay, our pitchers can step up, and Kansas State may not be the juggernaut that they showed in that 6th inning or that 5th inning. And, you know, I think the bats will wake up tomorrow and play a little bit better. You just, you know, this is not the TCU team we faced last year. I don't think.
Oh, no.
This
isn't
isn't that type of juggernaut offense where, you know, where it feels like no matter who we pitch, they're gonna get racked. So I think we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I like their chances tomorrow against SEMO, and we'll see what happens. And we, you know, obviously none of us are that well versed in what Kansas State has. I was surprised, and I'm screaming at the TV as the game is winding down to leave the kid in, the neighbor's kid, because he had thrown so many pitches. And there's a point at which you go, you know what? Stay in, man. But they had nobody warming up. Did that surprise you at all?
It did, but thinking about it now, I think he's thinking way ahead. Like, I don't want to use any more arms if I don't have to. He did kind of leave him out to dry, but it ended up paying off for them. They got the win, and they should be okay in their bullpen. If they have to face, no matter who they face on tomorrow, Arkansas, you know, in that one inning that Hagen Smith pitched again, they had 2 good hits. And it was all small ball and walks. And then, like I said, you give up 1 run. It was really just 1 pitch that Bobby kind of left hanging, and they made them pay, and ended up being the difference in the game. So if the game tonight didn't really rattle me, it didn't feel like, okay, Arkansas is going to have their work cut out for them. It's just got to beat them twice. That's the thing. It's hard to beat somebody twice, especially when they've already beaten you.
Yeah, and again, I've watched some games today, and baseball's such a funny game. I mean, losses are built in. I think the only thing that concerned me going into this week was it felt like Arkansas, Dave Van Horn, the whole group was just putting all of their eggs in that Hagen Smith basket, and I kept asking the question all week. You know, well, what happens if something if something goes wrong? How do you react to that? What do you have behind that? And I think now that I see the way that Dave uses his pitching staff and the way that he's going to, because their thing the last couple of years has been they get to like Sunday or Monday, and it's like we have no idea who's going to roll out there. They've got a plan this year, and this is the difference between this team and the teams that they've had in recent years. This team's got the pitching depth. This isn't the Cops year where you're just going to roll him out there and let him throw 180 pitches in a weekend. They've got it. I mean, Fouch didn't pitch today. They've got guys that can that can pitch tomorrow, can pitch Monday. You know, Mondays, you know, it's all arms available. If Hagen can give you 1 inning, you put him out there for it, because every game from this point forward is must win. Bats have got to wake up. Bats have got to wake up early. You know, I'm tired of getting into the 5th inning and you're kind of white knuckling this thing and hoping for a 2-run punch job to get yourself into the next round. You know, if you put 3 or 4 on the board in the first couple of innings and get yourself, get comfortable in the ball game, that to me is key to think. Fast start, and Gage Wood has to be great.
Yeah, I think, like you said, there's definitely a plan in place. You want to get some runs, get a cushion. You don't really want to have to stress at all in that SEMO game. You want to kind of cruise in that matchup and get the win, and then yet just rely on your bullpen. That's all you really can do at this point in the season. And you want to get them some confidence, because it feels like there's not a whole lot of confidence with any of the pitchers right now. Maybe, I'm sure Hagen Smith is still confident, but that 1 inning is something that we haven't seen much this year, and it wouldn't hurt to see a bunch of arms come in and kind of showcase what they've got and try to, gain some momentum. Should you advance, I mean, you still got a long road to go to get to Omaha.
1 p.m. the start time tomorrow against Southeastern Missouri State. We're on the air at 12:30 with the Dugout Show. And then the second game is scheduled to start around 6 p.m., and we'll see how that is negotiated should Arkansas win. And then if they're lucky enough to win both games tomorrow, you move to Monday, and that's a TBA. That's probably a game that'll get a 6 or a 7 o'clock start time. They'll announce that sometime tomorrow. Christian and I will be back to wrap all of this up very, very shortly. You are listening to Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Hog Reaction. Our coverage is presented by Mock Legal Solutions, Arvest Bank, and by Camping World.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with the best incentives in years. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service with Mercury, Malibu, Lowe, Caymas, and Garmin will keep your boat in peak condition. Kofer's also has a fully stocked pro shop and updated RV and boat storage facilities. Find Kofer's online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, your authorized Mercury dealer, helping their customers create a lifetime of memories for over 50 years.
Roll into the season at WT Equipment. Get ready to roll with strong savings on hay tools, compact and mid-range tractors, and even our large commercial-grade hay equipment. Find out and save $5,000, $10,000, or more in cash back. Or get 0% financing for up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and up to 72 months on compacts. Hurry, offer ends June 30th for commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Hog Reaction.
A high drive deep to left field by Baheba Aloy. Way back and way out of here. He cleared the hog pen seats in left field, and the Hogs are back in front.
Our coverage is presented by Mock Legal Solutions, Arvest Bank, and by Camping World.
Final score tonight, Kansas State 7, Arkansas 6. Christian Johnson. I'm Zach Arns. Glad to have you along here for Hog Reaction. You can call or text the show 877-377-6963. We're here for about another 10 minutes or so, and we've been talking a lot about tomorrow, and Christian, I don't know if you played sports when you were younger, but 2 games in one day.
Yeah.
Kansas State did it today. They played a game early this morning, finishing up a game that got delayed on Friday night. Finished up a game early on Saturday, come back, beat Arkansas in the late game. So it can certainly be done, but certainly a daunting task and definitely not where Arkansas wants to be.
Yeah, I did play baseball when I was younger in travel ball. We played 2 or 3 games a day sometimes. So, but, that's a little different than these athletes out here because, they're a lot more careful with their arms and stuff, and rightfully so. You don't want to overuse these guys or wear them down, and it does affect them. But that's kind of the downside of not being in that final game like Kansas State is sitting pretty right now. But it's just a little harder road now. But it's not something that can't be done. 2 games in one day, not ideal, but. Sometimes, doubleheaders, we've seen that this year a couple times in SEC play. But you're going to have to come out tomorrow or today actually, and just play some great baseball and hope it carries over to that winner-take-all game if you're able to get to it. But really, they should just be thinking about SEMO right now and how they're going to win that game. And then I think they probably like their chances with Kansas State just because of all the things they overcame in this game. I mean, normally if Hagen Smith gives up a 6 spot, normally the team kind of gets deflated, and it was good to see them battle back. It just shows me that they're not going to lay down, and they're going to make Kansas State earn it.
Yeah, I don't know which broadcast you were listening to, but I started with the TV and flipped over to Phil and Bub about halfway through, and they pointed out that Arkansas and Kansas State have played 50 times. I didn't realize that.
Really?
They've played in postseason. The last time was in the Manhattan Regional. I believe it was 2013. Kansas State won that one. So these teams have some history together. Obviously, not this current group. I was really impressed with Jackson Wentworth, the pitcher that started for Kansas State. Not an overpowering guy, but I was writing notes down as we were watching each inning, and I put Hagen Smith dominant, and Jackson Wentworth was just kind of pitching. He was pitching to the corners, and he held he held Arkansas, or kept Kansas State in the game, held Arkansas off the scoreboard. But man, when Hagen Smith has it going, and he's firing, man, he's as good as I've seen at the college level. But I don't know what happened at pitch number 61, because that's when the wheels fell off.
He just started losing command, I noticed. I mean, he was kind of way off to the left with his fastball, and just started losing his command. And that happens to the best pitchers sometimes. You have an inning where you just can't land pitches, and then all of a sudden you've got 2 guys on, you walk 2 guys, and then finally you do start to get into a groove, and that's when the other team usually makes you pay for it. And that one swing of the bat is really what was Arkansas's downfall, and you just can't give free bases, and that's what ended up coming to bite them.
Yeah, I think we probably undervalued Kansas State a little bit coming into this regional. They were kind of the afterthought. We kind of focused on La Tech as being the biggest threat. But that's a good baseball team, that Kansas State bunch, and that Caden Culpepper. He's a unique guy. But push that one off. You got to take care of SEMO first thing. That game again going to start at 1 p.m. We're on the air at 12:30 with the Dugout Show. Gage Wood apparently going to get the start, and I think you and I both agree, Christian. He's got to be great.
Yeah, no doubt. You want to set the tone early and come out and throw 3 or 4 or 5 good innings, and if you give up a run or two, that's okay. Your offense should be able to overcome that. And one thing I'll say about today is it wasn't just kind of like 1 or 2 guys getting hits. I mean, there was like 3 or 4 that got multiple hits. Wilmsmeyer got a couple hits. Holt got a couple hits, and you even had Hudson White getting a couple. Jared Sprague-Lott got a couple. So that's good to see. You're seeing a little more, contribution throughout the entire lineup. Aloy got a couple hits too. So it's just you just didn't. All that matters is the runs on the scoreboard, and you didn't score enough of them tonight.
ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app is live at the 2024 Fayetteville Regional this weekend. Our coverage is brought to you by our friends over at Mock Legal Solutions. If you find yourself in a fender bender, divorce, or custody dispute, call Jackie Mock at Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505, or mocklegalsolutions.com. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. And Arvest Bank, since 1961, Arvest has been committed to its local communities. Arvest is ready to help. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Camping World, we have America's favorite brands. Get into your perfect RV at Camping World in Poto and Van Buren, and online at campingworld.com. The road to Omaha starts now. Now, Christian, I don't know about you. You're much younger than me. I have to get to bed because I have to go to church in the morning where I will see Coach Calipari. At least we hope so. He usually slides in the side door, goes to Mass, and then vacates right after that. So that's where I'm heading. Final score tonight, 7-6. Arkansas going to play tomorrow at 1 p.m., 12:30 airtime with the Dugout Show. We'll have more on that in the morning. Learfield and Arkansas will send us the schedule, and we'll have all the games right here tomorrow. We're with you all the way through Omaha, or as far as Arkansas goes, right here on ESPN Arkansas. Christian, did I miss anything? We got everything?
I think we've got it covered, man.
All righty. For Christian Johnson, I am Zach Arns. We bid you a good night. Final score tonight, Kansas State 7, Arkansas 6. You've been listening to Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Hog Reaction. Our coverage is presented by Mock Legal Solutions.